Namo Himalaya, everyone. I have a very important message from the ancestors and from spirit around doing deep healing work. And in particular, the message is around alchemizing sacred rage, alchemizing rage not just for yourself, but for your ancestors and for your lineage. And so if this video is finding you, you are being asked to feel your feelings right now, no matter what that looks like, so you can alchemize them into something of love. And they kept showing me visions of when I was participating in a Temazcal. And I'm going to share with you this story because it's really significant for you on your journey and how to explain the importance of alchemizing your sacred rage and going through these rebirths and becoming new versions of ourselves that can embody generational prosperity, generational love, generational hope and joy. But in order to get there, there are things that we have to let go of on a deeper level than what you think. And when I was at this Temazcal, I had immediately gone in, and the person who was doing it was not traditional in any sense, because you're not usually supposed to be able to leave the Temazcal. And I left immediately when I got in there. First after we had built it, we built it as a community, and then immediately when I went in there, it was like I was submerged under the earth and above the earth amongst all these spirits and the people in the space. And it was so overwhelming energetically, and all of the talking was so loud that I needed to get out of there. I was like, there's no way I'm about to submerge myself this way. My body wasn't ready to be there. And I had left, and then I stood outside, and it was a really beautiful experience to witness because you get to see a rebirth of people. And you have the structure for healing, and then you have the umbilical cord, basically, to where the grandmother stones are being heated up with the fire, and there's someone who specifically knows how to handle them, and they get carried into the space of healing, and water is dumped on it, and there's songs that you sing. And I was witnessing this, and it was very beautiful because I'm also a birth worker. And there was someone in there who decided that they were ready to alchemize their sacred rage for their ancestors. And when you alchemize and you vocalize the amount of grief and pain and anger that not just comes from you, but comes from the earth and comes from all of your ancestors, it sounds different, and it energetically shifts everything around you, let alone your own body and your soul and your ancestors. It just shatters. It's the most powerful thing that I've ever seen, and makes a huge impact. And the minute that they screamed, it was like you could see their ancestors screaming with them. And then you could hear all of this sobbing and releasing. And at the end of it, I realized why I was there as a birth worker outside, because they all came out and they were like adult newborns, covered in mud and sweat, and they were naked, and they were completely different people. And I was there to usher them in their new life and gave them their wraps. And I was there with the land like pack of dogs, which was ironic because I'm also a dog trainer and I love dogs. And from that phase, they were manifesting and changing their life in such a way that it's almost like I can't even explain it. How much of a change that they created, not just in their life, but everybody else's life around them. They were all healers wanting to be able to continue on their path and to make an impact in the world. And they knew the importance of needing to alchemize, but didn't know how to, couldn't get themselves to. And so this is your reminder of actively seek resources and safe spaces for yourself to be able to alchemize the energy that is in your body. Even if you feel like it's not there, trust me, it is there. And you have hundreds of ancestors who energetically also need to be liberated. Because when all of you are liberated, that's a whole different kind of power. And that's a whole different kind of love. And it's a whole different sense of community and shifts, and your clairs really start to open. So the message was also, don't be afraid of your grief. Like, don't be afraid of your anger. Go to a rage room if you have one, like in your state or in your country. Let it all out, because it needs to come out somewhere. Because what I usually find happens is people will come to me when they're ready to go on their generational healing journey, and there's so much rage that has to be released. And it's a beautiful moment, because that window of like, I'm ready and I'm angry and I also feel like I can't stop crying, is when everything is about to change in your life. And so don't be scared of it, because that is your invitation to your new beginning. Like, you're about to step into something way more powerful that you did not see coming, and your body, your mind, and your spirit are trying to push out of you anything that's not going to serve you. Especially because I'm getting a lot of you have prayed and asked for change, and maybe you thought it was going to come in a different way, but it always starts with us. It always starts with our body. It always starts with our energy and how we communicate and what we're willing to take so that we can receive other things on our path. So I invite you, especially during this time of year, to allow whatever needs to come up to come up. Just let it come out in a safe environment again, and know that you are loved and you are held. And lastly, like, me being there outside of the space to be able to welcome people was also the ancestors telling you that they are there with your wraps ready to meet you. So the minute you step out and say, I'm ready to start over, I'm letting go of everything, I'm surrendering to this path ahead, I'm surrendering to actually feeling joy and not overworking, I'm surrendering to the goodness that is coming my way, that's when you receive everything. That's when you realize your life is way more abundant than you thought. So I wanted to share that message with you because it felt really powerful and needed to come out right now. So I'm sending you all lots of love and a ton of hugs. I'm going to be opening more grief sessions down the road and healing circles. If you also want to come to the Claire class and talk about that stuff and spirituality, it's okay to do that as well. It crosses over all of the time. So that space is safe for you. I also have a Discord that you can join and talk to other folks as well. So I'm sending, again, lots of love, lots of hugs. Take care of yourself and drink lots of water, and I'll see you soon.